Hey guys, it's Edwin here, and today I want to talk about love bombing, like the foundational piece of almost all toxic relationships. You see, a toxic person will not come will not come to you holding a placard written, "I'm a very manipulative person and I'm very abusive. I'll just tell you these things and then I'll use you later, and then I'll manipulate you later, or and then I'll abuse you later." No, they come like a Trojan horse. They come bearing gifts, affection, even probably having a deep understanding of your love language. And then you, on the other hand, you want to be treated like a royalty, to be seen, to be showered with affection, to be loved in quotes by that one person who you know feel that they have a key to your heart. Oh, and also with Valentine's Day like around the corner, you may want to see your new catch treating you or showering you with gifts or all those kinds of treats. Yeah, all those things may really look beautiful and very nice, but that's also, or that also may be the beginning of uh, an abusive relationship. All those kinds of crazy romantic gestures may really look like amazing, lovely, or something that you really want or you deeply desire. But when it becomes too much or excessive, that's when it turns out to be love bombing. And love bombing is where someone aims to rapidly win you over or to win over your love and attention by presenting this highly idealized version of themselves. Like they're really showing themselves as this person you've been looking for. This is the person you've been looking for. This is the attractive woman, attractive man you've been really looking for. So they intoxicate you with all those loving vibes that make you feel very special. Like they take you on a pedestal. You are really high up there. You know, seeing the rest are just people who are struggling and they've never really seen love. And love bombing is mostly used by manipulative people to lure you in and hook you in as they seek to manipulate you, especially in the beginning of a relationship. Yeah. So, why is love bombing so dangerous? I'm going to explore it in this video. Love bombing in itself actually may look so harmless because it may look like it's coming with good intentions, but it's actually very dangerous on many instances. The first instance is love bombing exploits the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity states that our human nature is we feel indebted to someone who has done something for us. Does it feel familiar? If I do something for you, you will feel indebted to me. You will feel that you have to pay me back. You feel that you owe me a favor and you need to pay me back, one way or the other. So during the love bombing phase, you are more of receiving and receiving goodies and more goodies from the love bomber or from a manipulator if it's a manipulator. So they may have paid some of your bills, familiar, right? Bought you expensive gifts, taken you to those expensive Valentine's Day retreats or expensive vacations, or just bombarded you with sweet messages that lifted your mood through the day. You will, of course, feel guilty because this person has done so much for you, and you'll want to give something back to the other person. And what we mostly give back to this other person is sometimes our bodies or our care, our sympathy, our empathy, especially when we don't have anything else to offer. So this exchange between you and the love bomber in itself creates a quick bond, and you now allow them into your life, even to the deep depths of your life. And the other thing about this love bombing stage is it's also the information stage for a manipulator, because you'll find yourself sharing all your traumas, passwords, all your dirty secrets, because you want to intensify the bond you are having. Like you want to grow this bond, so you share everything with them. So all those things will be used against you later on when they want to control you and manipulate you. So love bombing is opening the doors, and then your reciprocity is allowing them in. Love bombing even gets more dangerous because the intensity of the love bomber or the intensity of the love bombing phase is now obscuring you or stopping you from seeing the reality of the situation, from seeing the red flags, Like it's obscuring your judgment. So you cannot look at the thorns when you are being presented with roses. It's kind of that feeling like you see the roses but you don't see the thorns. So you then find yourself rushing things, like wanting to move in together because you don't want to lose them, and you really feel that they've hit a spot which no one has ever hit before. Like it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then because you've been told all these things, all these superficial things, all these lovely words, you feel like, oh no, this is something I've been waiting for. I can't lose it. You feel so complete, special, and whole. And that's how you end up being entangled in an abusive relationship. You find yourself lowering your boundaries because they already have a soft landing in you. The love bombing was more of winning your trust so that later on they can use you as they wish. So, a manipulator will provide you with this illusionary kind of life during the love bombing phase. And it is an illusionary kind of life which your memory will cling onto for the rest of the relationship or for the rest of your life, in such a way that you will even want to go back to it. You'll even want to go back to that love bombing phase again. And then a few years or a few months down the line, when they start showing you their true colors, you'll still be thinking about the good things they did in the beginning of the relationship. And the thing is, they might still show you these glimpses of love bombing in the first of the relationship. Like, let's say once in 1,000 days, they may take you out, which will give you more hope that actually maybe there's just something you need to do to go back to that initial phase. And when they talk to you about their childhood or their abusive past, you will of course want to take care of them because you feel indebted. You feel indebted because of the beautiful things they did to you, say 10 years ago, 20 years ago. So you're still clinging to that debt which you can never really repay. You cannot repay someone for a debt which they did to you in like 10 years ago, but your mind is clinging to that and say like, actually this person came through. Or you might say to yourself, this person actually came through when I was broke and did this to me, so I just have to take care of their mental health. It will keep you stuck because you want to repay that unpayable debt. And the other thing is, they might also now be threatening to expose those secrets you told them during the honeymoon phase or during the beginning of the relationship. So it's just this foundational piece of a toxic relationship. Like, they have you where they want you to be. They have you in a place where they know it will be hard for you to break out of. That's why love bombing is so dangerous. If you really find yourself falling for flattery, superficiality, it doesn't matter if someone is abusive or just a normal relationship. If you find yourself falling for those things, especially in Valentine's Day, you have to really go inwards and really see how dangerous it is. So why do we really fall for love bombing? You see, like, love bombing in itself is not actually a problem. Yeah, once in a while you might love bomb someone and it's okay, but not really that much. But sharing all these words of affection is in itself is not a problem. The problem is actually you. You are giving it a soft landing. Giving it a soft landing here means that you attach your own worth, your own value to externalities like words of affection, gifts, and flattery. So the manipulator just exploits your deep insecurities through love bombs to make you dependent on them and for their own supply. So they give you these words so that you'll be looking for these words because you feel that those words are a proof of your worth. And when you get easily wooed or easily swayed by those things, you will be very vulnerable to love bombers who will ultimately use you or tell you those words and then discard you. And also, when you are easily swayed by what people do to you or what people say about you, you will be following along with the love bombing. It's more of your life lacking depth to the point where you are used to swimming in these shallow waters, and the shallowness offered by the love bomber is all it takes for you to lower your boundaries or for you to drop your pants. Like, love bombing is so shallow. Being told that, oh, you are this queen or you are this king, blah blah blah, it's so shallow. when their actions speak differently. That's why you have to really work on rebuilding your self-esteem to the point where you are deeply secure and nothing on the outside defines you as a person. Like nothing, not just a few words or a few actions by another person. And with high self-esteem, actually, you will understand that you are just a whole being who will not lower their boundaries to even reciprocate the actions of another person, to even reciprocate the actions of a love bomber. Like you might go out with a love bomber, but you don't feel indebted. You don't feel like I owe this person this thing to the point that I can lower my boundaries, to the point that I can have that one night stand. You have to get to this point where you deeply understand what's within your scope of control, and you are not an option to some cheap and shallow kind of love. Some cheap and shallow kind of love, like just someone taking you out on Valentine's Day, and then for 364 and a quarter days they're using you. Doesn't make sense. Like you are worth more than events, and actually a relationship is not an event, it's a process. So love bombing is more about exploiting your events, like the highs, the going out, the vacations, but the relationship is actually lived in the moments where you are not even having those vacations. Hope that makes sense. Like love bombing is exploiting your urge for an event. And if you see yourself actually being very, very susceptible to love bombing or to that sweet message from someone, then really go inwards and address those false beliefs you have about yourself, about your worth, about how you view yourself. Like you are worthy of more than just a brief illusionary high, which will lead you to the dark depths of an abusive relationship, which will attach you to something which is not good for you. Because love bombing is the foundation, and the more you stick there, it will attach you to something which is not good for you. Hope you found that informative, guys. So don't fall for those Valentine's Day promises or brief dates or expensive dates. Fall for the process instead. Hope you found that informative. Until next time, see ya.